Hi everyone, thanks for coming to this live Q&A session for computer science. Before we get started today, I'm just going to do a quick few technical checks just to make sure you can hear us all okay and see us all. So if you can hear me okay, if you could just press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. Brilliant, that's great. Thanks, guys. And same thing again, if you can see me and my colleagues here, if you can see our videos, press the button, press the hand button. Brilliant, that's great. Amazing, thanks for that. All right, so just a couple of things just to let you know. The chat function for this session is disabled. So if you want to get in touch with us in any way, just press the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And you can just send us your questions, or if you just have anything you want to communicate with us, just use that button to speak to us. And we've got the second part of this session, we'll be answering your questions. So just fire them away just throughout this session, and yeah, we'll get through to them at the end. All right, so that's it from me. And now I'm going to hand over to Bosco, who's going to talk to you more about the computer science courses at BTech.
Good morning, everyone. Hoping that you can hear me clearly. So my name is Bosco Angol, as already been introduced by Laura. I'm a specialist in computer science, and we're just going to have a quick introduction to you about the programs that we run at BTech. So we're among the few sixth form colleges in East London that offer the BTech Level 3 in computer science, which is a very specialist program. And if you're interested in A-level, studying computer science along other A-level subjects, we also offer A-level computer science, okay? So basically, the BTech computer science, if you don't know the difference, is more coursework based. So you will do coursework in the majority of your units, which is about 4 units or modules, and then 2 external units that is externally assessed by Pearson. So the examination body is Edexcel. Some of you might be familiar with this from your GCSE. And the A-level as well is Edexcel exam body, okay? So this is a rather new qualification called RQF qualification from Pearson. You will be doing 6 units in the first year and 6 units in the second year. It's equivalent to 3 A-levels. So it has parity with A-levels, but it gives you real good first-hand skills in coding. And I believe that you being here today is because of your interest in programming and software development, because there is no 2 ways about it. After you finish these courses, you'll go straight into a computer science or software development degree, and then into a career in software development. Alternatively, you could go into an apprenticeship, but also in the area of software development. So there is 2 main ways you can achieve this, like I said, through the BTech and through the A-level. So if you're interested, we will obviously love to hear from you. We have a fantastic achievement in both programs at BTech. I'll pass you on to Saida to tell you briefly about the entry requirements for A-levels. But for the BTech, it's a 6 in maths, and you have to have at least 5 GCSEs between 9 and 4, and 6 has to be in maths. So Saida can take over from there.
Yeah, hello everyone, good morning. Yeah, my name is Saida, as you know. So for A-level computer science, unlike BTech, you will have, it's mostly exam-based course, and it's a 2 years course. So the first year we call it AS level, and the second year is the A level. And you will have the exam end of the A level. So at end of the second year, you will have the final exam. And in A-level computer science, you have 2 papers in there, paper 1 and paper 2. and one non-exam assessment. So non-exam assessment is the final project you do in the second year. So paper one is mostly a programming part of the course. So you do coding, you develop algorithms, and at New Week we use Visual Basic software, language, and Visual Studio IDE to do the programming bit. Okay. And also we have the final project. You can use any programming language you want if you are more interested in. But at New Week, we will be teaching you Visual Basic. And in paper one, you have different programming concepts like theory of computations, data structures, different concepts of software engineering. So all these things are in paper one. And that is the 40% of your overall A-level. So paper one is 40%. Paper two is the theory bit. So Solomon will talk you through more about it, the paper two. And 20% is the project. So project will be based on anything that you're more interested in. So it can be a mobile application. You can create a mobile application. You can create a web application, a website, or a network system. So it can be a hardware related project as well. Okay. So yeah, so these are the topics you will be covering in paper one. And the entry requirement for A-level is you need to have 6 in maths. Yeah, and yeah, so you need to, and the exam board is AQA. So for A-level course. Okay, and for paper two, you'll be doing more theory related things. So I will pass it to Solomon to talk more about paper two for A-level.
Hello guys, my name is Solomon. In the theoretical part of the course, it's a wide range of topics you're going to cover. And the emphasis is that you cover a wide range, which gives you enough knowledge to be able to study different areas in computing when you go on to further education, higher education, I mean. The topics include programming, where you will learn how to tell the computer what to do. And then you go on to data structures, where you consider the abstract ways in which data are organized and manipulated in the computer and in programs you will be writing. Then you do some algorithms, step-by-step instructions. That is when you're planning before you actually start coding. Theory of computation, where you'll consider the fundamentals of computational thinking. Data structures, as I've just mentioned. Then you also do data representation. Then you do a bit of computer systems. You'll study different systems in computing, both small and big, complex systems. You study organization and architecture, the inside of the computer, how it's designed and eventually built. You hear about those famous chips, i7, Intel i7, Ryzen by AMD. We'll touch on just how they are designed. Consequences and uses of computing. Computer cannot be that powerful and computing cannot be that successful without consequences. So we will look at the consequences, how its success is affecting us negatively or positively. We'll look at communication and networking, databases, how data is stored, big data. When you talk about big, think about Facebook, the amount of data Facebook is collecting. Think about Google. They are just big data. How are they manipulated? How is that possible? And finally, we look at the systematic approach to problem solving. With this range of topics, you can progress to higher education and study in any field of computing or IT. We are committed, guys, to ensuring that you obtain the results you deserve, and even more. We're here to inspire you to succeed. Yeah, time for questions.
So what's the main difference between the BTech course and the A-level course?
Okay, so that's a very good question at this point as well, when you guys are considering what you want to study after your GCSEs. So like I said at the beginning, the A-levels is very academic. So if you want to do computer science, in addition to other A-level subjects, you should be prepared that you're going to be doing an exam at the end of the 2-year course. Alternatively, if you think exam is not for you, and I agree exam might not be for everyone, then you might want to consider our specialist BTech in computer science, which offers you an opportunity to develop skills as you go along, but it's assessed mainly by coursework that is set and marked within the college by your teachers, and then it will be verified that it has been marked at a good standard. So the assessment will result in you either achieving a pass grade or a merit grade or a distinction grade. And that also depends on the amount of effort that you put into the course. So whereas Solomon has said that we are committed to support you, and that is what we do in terms of you achieving very high grades, you also need to come and put in enormous effort in order to achieve the grades to take you to the universities that you want to go to. So hopefully that answers the question regarding the difference between A-levels and BTech. Career progression is wide and varied. So from university, you could go into different things. Solomon has mentioned a wide range of topics that you study. You could be an architect, engineer, design, working for companies like Intel. You could be working for software companies like Microsoft, because you are going to learn a lot of basic topics that lead to different areas of expertise at universities. Okay, so anything that you see that uses computers comes from some sort of coding. So you are the guys who will be coding the next generation of computers. You know, smart cities, big data, driverless cars, and all sorts of things that we are excited about that's coming in the near future. You will be participating, and there's lots of job opportunities, really well paying in this area. Okay?
So I've got another question here asking about what is the rationale for choosing to teach Visual Basic rather than Python?
Yeah, actually, in Python, it's a good programming language, but some part of it, like object orientation and those part of it, is not very well structured. So that's why we actually do Visual Basic and Visual Studio. And some students, they do database related project in the second year. So we use Microsoft Access. So it's easy to connect the database Microsoft Access to the Microsoft platform Visual Studio. So that's why we do that. But programming concepts are same for all the programming language anyway. Yeah. So if you learn one language, you can learn you can easily grab all other concepts for all other languages anyway. So, but one difference I can say, for example, in Python, if you who asked the question, if you have done Python before, when you declare the variables, it's not very, you don't need to actually explicitly say what type of variable that is all the time. So, but in Visual Basic or C#, those are strictly structured. So in that case, it's more structured way of doing the coding. So yeah, there are some advantages and disadvantages of doing all and there are different syntax for every programming language. But I would say Java or C# or Visual Basic are more strictly structured in some concepts. So that's why we use Visual Basic.
Can I just quickly add that Visual Basic is not the only programming language that you will learn at NUVIC. You will learn Java as well. I know it was mentioned at the beginning that Visual Basic. So you will learn Java. You will learn also bits of C++. So you will learn a variety of languages, at least minimum of 3 before you leave the college.
Yeah, and also we run a code club each Wednesday in our college. So where we have games developers who works in the industry, so they comes in and help the students in games development side of it. So as in A-level students, some of them, they want to do games related project like maze game development or chess games or different types of shooter games. So interactive games, so they can join the code club and talk to those persons, those who works in the industry at the moment. So and they can get help from them. And they also do Unity. So it's a very good platform for creating games. So Unity and C#. So you will learn that one as well. So yeah.
Great, thanks guys. So there's a couple of questions come in talking about sort of progression. So one is asking about they want to study computer science at university. Is it better to study the A-level than the BTech? And another one similarly asking about saying that they want to get into robotic engineering, and how would this computer science A-level help them do that?
Okay, so regardless of what you study, whether it's A-level or BTech, the university at this point look at the parity between these qualifications. So if you remember what I said, what you are good at, because you might put yourself through A-levels when you're not very good at examination, and then you will not be able to achieve a very good grade at the end, which will lead you to a very good computer science related degree. So you can choose BTech. BTech is equivalent to 3 A-levels. When you do well in the BTech course, you are taken in comparison to an A-level student. So for instance, if you get a triple D achievement in BTech, you're equivalent to a student who has got a triple A in A-levels. So don't worry too much about whether you will be taken or not. You will. We've got a good track record of students going to Russell Group universities doing BTech computer science, which is very specialist. The second questions I pass on to Solomon regarding robotics.
Yeah, just before that, if I can just add, your choice of university will influence whether you're choosing BTech or A-levels, because there are some universities that look for A-levels specifically, like Oxford, Cambridge. So it's up to you, the student, really to decide. In terms of robotics, remember, as I was mentioning the topics, I told you about the final one I spoke about was a systematic approach to problem solving. And it's all about coding and problem solving. So robots, you see robots in different forms, maybe minute or the big robots walking around, or the one working in industries, in supply lines, but they are all controlled by simple codes at the background. So you're good at your coding, then you make that robot do what you want it to do. So let the name don't confuse you. But at the background, what makes that robot talk or walk or jump is the code you write. Does that answer your question?
Thanks, Solomon. Okay, so another question here asking, is it a problem if you study a different specification in the GCSE computer science?
So it's not a problem because we don't dwell so much in whether you've studied computer science at GCSE or not. The main requirement for you to get into both the BTech or the A-levels is the maths, which needs to be a 6 in maths for BTech computer science and 7 in maths for A-level computer science. If you did GCSE, whether by OCR or AQA at O-level, at GCSE, if you fail to get a 6 in maths, but you got a 5 in GCSE computer science, we will still consider your application to join our BTech computer science program, but not the A-level program, which requires a 7 in maths. Okay, so don't worry too much about what examination body. It's not a pre-requirement for entry.
Great, thanks, Bosco. I've got one here asking about I think in our intro video at the beginning, we said about the computer science course at NUVIC is within the top 10% in the country. So someone asking by what measure is that the top 10% in the country? So is that to do with the ALPS or achievement rates or something, guys?
It is to do with the success rate. So if you look at 18, 19, 100% progression into universities, success rate above 95%. So we do very, very well in this, and it's a very competitive course. The fact that not many colleges offer it because of the specialism that it requires, we pride ourselves in very, very high success rate at NUVIC.
Yeah, and also for A-level, we've got 100% A to C grade. So yes, very good in A-level.
Great, thanks guys. So again here asking about what maths is involved. You know, we were talking about how the importance of maths in computer science. What kind of maths will students be doing in computer science?
Well, you will not be doing maths per se. It's just a requirement because, as you might know, computer science is relatively new in schools. But it was not a requirement before. Computer science as a subject was not a requirement, but it is a course in university. So for you to be able to study computer science in advanced level and in uni, they ask for maths just because not all schools do computer science. But maths is just to say you are able, if you can't pass maths, you are able to do computer science, but you will not be doing maths in the course. There are 1 or 2 topics that are mathematical, like binary arithmetic, but that's not purely, it's like an application of maths in terms of ones and zeros, how the computer add and to get information, and how information is represented, taking it from the characters on your keyboard all the way to the ones and zeros that the computer understand. But it's purely application of maths principles.
Can I just add that obviously computer science is very math related in terms of logical design of coding. That is why the requirement is there, because to write a good code, you need to think logically. So if you know maths, and you are more likely to do very well in coding, which is the core of computer science. Okay?
Cool, great, thanks guys. So we've just got time for one more question. So I'm sorry we haven't got round to, you can see there's lots still coming in. So I'm sorry we're not going to be able to get round to answering all of your questions. But we will put them all up on the website after the event on Monday. So the final one here, are there any things that you can do to prepare yourself beforehand if you've not done computer science in GCSE but are interested in A-level?
Let me answer that question first. One of the things about computer science is that anyone who applies to do computer science as a passion into software engineering. I'm using that word passion because most of the students who come already are doing some sort of coding independently. And there's a lot of platforms online which prepares you into basic coding activities. So if you've never coded before, you go to an online free website you can start doing some sort of coding before, so to see how you get along and whether you're actually passionate about it, you know, before deciding to study computer science. So there is free resources online, a lot of free resources that you can use.
Great.
Solomon, Saida?
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, yeah, and there are lots of introductory tutorial for programming as well on YouTube, so you can go through that as well. And also HTML is a fun. Like you can do some basic web design as well, because for your project, some of you may want to do a web related project. So to kind of a design bit would be more interesting. So you can do a little bit of HTML, creating a basic web page and add some programming bits to it. So yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Then I'll just add that W3 Schools is a good one.
Yeah.
W3schools.com. Is it .com or .co.uk?
Yeah,
.com. Yeah, that's a good one for you to play around.
Great. All right, thanks guys. So I just want to say thanks for everyone for attending this session. I appreciate it's been quite a short session and we haven't managed to get through to all of your questions, but I hope that this has helped you and given you a little bit of a taste of the computer science courses that we offer at NUVIC. If you do have any more questions, you can send them along to the email address that was attached for when you were registering this session. So I think it was marketing@nuvic.ac.uk, and we can forward it to the computer science team, who can get back to you on that. And also just to stress all the questions that we haven't managed to answer, we'll type all of these up, and we'll also put a recording of this session on the website on the Open Day page next week, so you can play back and also have a look and download the questions that we didn't manage to get through to. So just a final note from me, our applications are now open for September 2021. So if you want to get your application in early, you can do that now by visiting the website. And that's it. So thanks everyone for coming, and have a good rest of the weekend. Thank you guys. Thanks guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye guys.
Bye. Bye. Bye.